glossy down. Disappearing? Yeah. It's amazing. Hey, it's Mark, RPM Tesla Aftermarket Accessories. If you are a new S or X owner and you have purchased our carbon fiber upgrade kits, this is a great product for you to help protect your carbon fiber. So this is our new armrest. It's beautiful, glossy carbon fiber. Comes in glossy or matte finish. This is the protection kit we promised, which is made out of Expel Ultimate Plus Clear Bra. So this is gonna make this invisible and give you invisible protection so you can't scratch it. So this is the piece. We're gonna make this in the glossy for glossy finish. And if you happen to buy matte, it'll look like a matte finish like this. So again, this is great if you've purchased our kit, which converts all of your carbon fiber interior trim to glossy. Remember, this is glossy paint protection film. It prevents it from getting scratched. It maintains it perfectly. The original matte finish is underneath. Like you can see here, this piece here, we're redoing, but it's got glossy, 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 and all the carbon fiber originally was matte. So this is a great upgrade. It gives it the same glossy look. And finally, this piece now will protect this beautiful piece of carbon fiber. So in this video, we're going to explain how to install it. So what we're going to give you is this piece, and figuring out front from back is pretty easy. The front is more rounded. It's a little bit wider in the front. The back is a little narrower. So we'll probably label them so there's no confusion. And we're going to give you a urethane squeegee, and we're also going to give you a soap solution that you're going to dilute in 48 ounces of water. Again, this is going to create the lubrication so we can move it around on here and get it in the exact place we want before we squeegee all the water out and before it dries up and becomes invisible. So let's start with protection. All right, so cover everything up in the car, your seats, your cup holders, because we're gonna do a little spraying. And you wanna use some rubbing alcohol. We probably won't give you, you'll need to use your own rubbing alcohol. You wanna get this really clean. So with any kind of epoxy surface, you wanna clean this alcohol and clean it really good. So this is paint protection film, which is thick urethane plastic, so it will stick really good. And you also don't want to see any dirt because you're going to see through it. So again, this is a clear bra piece of film that creates an invisible layer of skin. So after it's clean and it's perfect and there's no hair, no dirt, no oils, you've got it really clean all the way around the edges, all the way down. Now we're going to use our soap solution. So remember, we're going to give you a little packet of soap, and you're going to mix it in with this, and it's going to make soap suds. And it's just Johnson & Johnson shampoo, and we're going to spray it on here. So you'll notice it looks a little sudsy, little bubbles here. So we're going to put it on top, and again, put it on the seats and on there. We're going to spray it all over. You also got to put a little bit on your fingers. And we don't want to get fingerprints all over it, and then we have to peel it. So get everything wet. The more parts you have wet, the better off your chances are going to be at getting a perfect installation. You'll notice it's a little hard to peel it sometimes when your fingers are wet, but you still have to get it started. So peel it back like this. And again, this is 9 mils thick of urethane plastic. I gotta get a better grip. I need to find a little bit drier corner. But again, you don't want fingerprints underneath. So as soon as you get it peeled back, just put a little soap on it. Okay, so we're gonna pull it off in one piece, just like this. 1, 2, 3, all the way down. And then we're going to hold it up in the air, and you just don't want to let it stick to itself. So this side is sticky, which was facing down. And spray it all over and plop it down. So watch how this works. It's really simple. It's probably the easiest thing we have for a clear bra. If it starts to grab, just pull it up. And again, water will stick, but if you got a good amount of soap in here, it'll look really good. Okay, so now we're gonna move it around and play with it. So notice this, it's really easy. Look at that. It's gonna dry invisible. It's gonna look amazing. You're gonna look at both sides. You're gonna make sure you're up here on the front. And we had to cut it a little bit short on the corners so it's easy to install. So again, the matte one will be a little more noticeable here. That video we'll shoot next. And the glossy one is gonna look great because glossy is completely invisible. Now, after you get water underneath it, soap water, we're gonna put some on top. And we're putting it on top so the squeegee will glide like this. And when the squeegee glides, it pushes the water out. So I'm gonna go over here and try to make sure I'm all the way around. I'm gonna look at this side, make sure I'm all the way around. So we wanna center it left and right with your hands, and then up and down, or forward and back. How's that? And now it looks like I'm good up here. I'm almost to the edge, but I'm not beyond. If you go too far up, you're gonna get a lot of fingers and wrinkles in here. So anyway, okay, so we're up here, we're here, I'm holding it. I'm making sure I'm not too far right, not too far left. And again, you have all this time to make sure you've got it right where you want it. And then you still can move it around if you change your mind. So I think this is good, it looks good. I'm gonna put a little more soap on top. Now I'm gonna go down the middle without moving it because I like the location. So just go like this. This is kind of making it stick. Now, I wanna make sure my towels are in good locations. We don't wanna get water running down anywhere. So put this over the back, and you have a display in the back. So you don't wanna splash everything. Things inside the car are not made to be waterproof, obviously. So the seat holds it nice here. Okay, so now let's go like this. Squeegee, squeegee, squeegee. Double check the top. You can do stretching, you can manipulate it a little bit, but I think this looks good on both sides. It's equal. I'm gonna put one here, dry off the center console. So most of the squeegeeing now is backward and forward. And again, by putting water on top, it helps this squeegee out the water underneath, which helps it lock down in place. So just keep squeegeeing the water out and work your way across. And again, dry it off. Don't let water run all over the place. Squeegee it down. So what's gonna happen now is this water is gonna evaporate. And when the water evaporates, this is a good idea, then the adhesive on the Expel Ultimate Plus is gonna dry. And after that dries, it's gonna be locked in place. So see how we didn't go too far here. If we would have extended this edge up, you would have this area lifting up everywhere. So we don't want it to dry all the way yet. We want to keep squeegeeing it out. And again, when it gets dry on the top, add some soap to it so the squeegee will squeegee, okay? So the squeegee has to push the water out underneath. All right, okay, so back and forth, making a little bit of a mess. We want to get the top secure. Then we're going to worry about these little edges because this is nothing. It's really easy. And after it's dry, like see this right here? After this is dry, it'll stick right down. So that's why we didn't want to put too much material. It doesn't even go all the way down and around. The matte one we might extend a little bit more depending on measurements afterwards. But again, we're not looking for coverage on the edges. So again, please don't order this if you want to protect your matte armrest and if you're worried about seeing a little bit of a line. So we're going to show you that in more detail in the matte video that we're going to make and install in a car that doesn't have our glossy interior upgrade. Now, I'm using a towel gently now because I'm just trying to dry it off, but I'm holding it with my hand. So be careful with a towel because when you're using a towel, you could actually slide it around. You don't want to move it. And now I'm looking at all the corners. So the corners will be the hardest area to tack down. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave it like this. We're going to leave the heat on or the air on, doesn't make a difference. Push all these corners down. So again, if we made this longer, you would have this whole side lifting up. It would just want to do it because it doesn't want to be stretched. And we didn't want to design a pattern that required stretching because that's not easy to install. Okay, so the back looks good. You notice back here, the line's good. So you have a little bit of room here where you could be a little more forward and a little more back. But if you get too close to this edge, it's going to hang over the edge and it won't sit flat. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And again, you can let it dry like this for a few hours, or you can squeegee it out real hard so it dries even faster. And then back here, let's take a look. And it's drying up real nice. Okay, so we're going to come back and we're going to put a new piece on here. We're going to take a look at this corner like this, for instance. See this little corner here? We're just going to push the corners down, get the air out. So once the air comes out and the soap dries out, all this will be super tacky because there is adhesive under here. So see what I'm doing here? Just kind of pushing it out. So again, we want to avoid fingers. We want it to look good. If you have rubbing alcohol, this will dry out really fast. So soap takes longer to evaporate, and alcohol can actually stimulate the adhesive to want to dry out faster. So again, just go around the corners with a towel like this. Make sure it's tacking and holding good, and you're going to have perfect results. So again, if you have a bubble here, you're going to dry out with a bubble. So you don't want to leave a bubble. So we're going to get out of the car now. We're going to double check all the edges. We're going to look at this side. So notice this over here. Same thing. Just use the towel and push it down so it grabs. Okay. So again, not adding any water in this case, just putting a little pressure on it with a nice microfiber towel so the bottom lip will grab and slide all the way across. So now everything is sticking. So as long as it's not extremely hot or cold in your car, you won't have any shrink issues, and it looks unbelievable. So again, we've taken our beautiful carbon fiber overlay for your center console. You can see the lines and the edges. You can see how close we're getting all the way around. And again, it's invisible paint protection from Expel. We install it on cars and wrap full cars all the time. Okay, so now after you spend like another minute just double checking all the edges and making sure you have no fingers. So this is a finger. When you see it down here, no fingers, then you're good to go. Let's let it dry out now for a couple hours. We'll come back. You can use detail spray, wax spray, shine it on here, make it look good, ceramic coatings, anything you want that you would normally use on Clear paint protection film. So thank you for watching, and we're going to shoot the next one in matte to show you how it makes the original matte finish look with a matte cover so you don't scratch it up. But again, we'll make a little video next showing how you can scratch this and it heals naturally in warm air. We've got one we'll probably insert right here, or we did it on this display. Okay, thanks for watching. We're gonna get out of this car and go work on the matte one next, which will be matte stealth paint protection film over the original matte version in your Model S and X Plaid with the carbon fiber interior. Okay, it's Mark again, and this is the beginning of this installation video, or the end. We're not sure. But again, we wanted to show everybody this is what you're going to install over this. And once you put this on, it's going to look like this. So now we want to talk about wear and tear. We want to talk about the self-healing technology built into this Expel film. So what we're going to do now is we're going to scratch it. And we're going to show you how it heals. We're going to show you what can happen if you wear jewelry. But we're going to start off with this. Now this is a wire brush. So if you can come over here, we're going to start off with taking a wire brush and scratching this side. So see all these micro scratches? That's micro. Here we're going to make some deep ones. So this is what'll happen with your wife's jewelry. You know, she's got her hand here. She's got a bracelet on. She's sitting in this seat. And over time, it's going to get marked up and scratched. Then you could have a watch on that's going to scratch it and mark it up. So we want to show you these little scratch lines and these marks and show you how self-healing technology works. So self-healing technology works with heat, and this is a heat gun. So when we wrap cars at RPM, we're always, I'll keep scratching it while we're filming. We wrap cars here, the sunlight provides natural healing. But if you buy this piece and you wrap it, I'm gonna really gouge it here, and you wrap it with this piece, that's good. Then this is what you can do when you're in a hairdryer outside. Just hold it right over this and watch my finger, and watch how the scratches just disappear. So the self-healing technology by Expel is like no one else's. Just look how it's gone. Now here's a watch area. I have my watch band scratching it. Scuffs, scratches, completely disappear. The material is actually expanding and filling voids. So it expands when it gets warm, and it provides self-healing technology. So let's do it one more time. I've witnessed this many times. So watch this. Look at the edge here. So we'll do right here. And we'll scratch the heck out of it with this wire brush. And then we'll watch how it heals. It just heals right up. So anything can make microscopic scratches like a wire brush. It won't even scratch when it's this warm. It's just like a constant healing going on. And again, here's the watch band that I was wearing. So anyway, again, we think this is a must. If you're going to be using any of our interior Expel products, and the armrest, which is beautiful, real dry molded carbon fiber, you're going to want to cover it whether you have the matte or the glossy. So this is the matte, this is the glossy version. Either way, you're self-healing, you'll love it, and it won't matter. You won't damage it, and you'll always be able to clean up any scuffs or scratches, just like that. Thanks again for watching, and this piece, which of course is just this simple piece, we provide the squeegee and everything else, like we probably already said a dozen times in the last couple of weeks since we started filming this. Thanks again for watching. Okay, we're going to do the matte piece now. And of course, I want to show you side by side. This is Stealth matte ink protection film, and this is glossy. So anyway, we're going to do this one next, and we're going to get it all installed for everybody. So again, this is the matte finish. This is our matte armrest cover. And first, we're going to go through everything we did in the other one. We're going to clean it really good. So we've got a real good towel here for cleaning. Plop it right down. And take a look at fitment. Add a little soap on the sides. Move it all around. Get it right where you want it. So again, we're going to make this look like this and add protection to it. So with the glossy one, we didn't go up as far as we could have. And the sides look better, and the back has a nice little area. So that's it. I think it's perfect. Right on this edge, but not hanging over. Soap on top. Soap on top so we can secure it. It's going to look awesome. Same thing in the back. Press down on the little edges and get it all down. All the corners, kind of spread it around. There we go. If you get a little finger, you just kind of spread that finger. Pull it the opposite direction. Okay, so that quickly we got it in. Now I'm going to hold it down with a towel and do some hand drying. So see right up here? So these are the fingers. So the further up you go, the more your risk of having fingers. But we did that on purpose because we want to show you a little better fitment with the mat by putting it up further. And then of course, we might even introduce a little bit of heat. Okay, now, once we get it all down, we're going to use a little bit of alcohol to go into the corners. So the alcohol is flushing out the soap and it evaporates quicker. And again, to get rid of a finger is pull perpendicular. So see? Just keep going, pull this side down and around. Just going in opposite direction. That's okay, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time to dry, set up. Again, if you get a loose edge like this, just hit it, tuck it with your hands, no problem. Now the squeegee is good because it pushes the water out and then it'll dry faster. So I'm gonna go over these edges a little bit. And then for the customers that really want the greatest cosmetic looking part in the world, we recommend a heat down. And then a heat down is using a hair dryer or a heat gun, and you simply go around the edges. And when you go around the edges, you kind of tax them down. So you see here, I'm holding these down and we let it dry. So once it dries, it's going to stick great. Now if you happen to watch our video where we installed the dashboard wrap, you'll remember that we waited a few hours and you walk up to it like this and you just go like this and just stick it down. So that'll happen when it's dry. Right now there's still alcohol. So we're not too worried about the edges. And it's very dry. So let's take the camera down and we will go over this, a comparison. So again, this has stealth paint protection film. This has nothing. We sell a full kit, so you can make the whole kit the same stealth protection film. That'll make this look the same. But it looks the same now. So again, this is unprotected, no PPF. This has stealth paint protection film on it. And your beautiful carbon fiber piece is protected. Now, if you see bubbles, don't worry about water bubbles. They dry out. If they annoy you, you can spray the top like this and get the squeegee wet and just push them out. So I noticed a little bit back here. So you can still do this for quite some time. But again, just like paint protection film and window tint, you don't worry about water. You just don't want air bubbles. Okay, so now we're gonna go over all these edges after it dries completely out, and then we'll just be going like this, tucking them down, because it will grab instantly as long as you've cleaned it well. But doesn't that look great? So here's the dashboard, door panels, switch covers coming in carbon soon. This whole door panel, and as we move over here to show you the center console, we've got the carbon fiber overlay, same direction. It looks so amazing, absolutely identical. And don't forget, you can still buy our carbon fiber protection kit to protect your matte finish with a layer just like this. So it will look exactly like this over here, and you'll never get it scratched. Carbon scratch is easy, chips easy, it's strong structurally. Again, that's it. RPM Tesla, thanks for watching. It's Mark, and we hope if you purchase one of our S and X armrest covers in real dry molded carbon fiber, that you will consider protecting it so it will never get scratched up. I mean, you could scratch this with a wire brush and it'll heal. Self-healing technology and the material from Expel. Again, stealth. Thank you, and we know you're gonna love it. It looks so nice, matches so nice, and we got a lot of other parts coming out. Thank you. Okay, as we're finishing up this video, we wanted to show what the edges look like on both the matte and the glossy. So you'll see the coverage level. Let's get a focus here. And again, it's invisible, so it's very hard to see the lines, but my thumb is on it here. It runs all the way up here, and then across the top, it's right on this edge. So the leading edge is not covered, but 99% is completely covered all the way down here. So again, it's really a surface wrap. And again, on the glossy, you can see it stops right on this edge. Or maybe you can't. It's pretty invisible. Even with super bright, it's hard to tell. So let's move over to the matte one, just to show everybody. We want everyone to understand what they're getting. And again, this looks glossy now because we installed the new piece on the sliding tray. But it all matches great. Matches the dash, matches our glossy carbon fiber yoke steering wheels. And now let's go look at the matte Model X. Okay, now let's check out the matte. And again, we do a glossy on the outside to match all the glossy trim. And then on the stock X and S with the matte finish, with or without our protection kit, you can see it up close. So I'll try to darken this a little bit. So now this is completely covered and this is not. And the edge, here you can see the edge right along the bottom, all the way to the bottom, no air bubbles. And if you're looking at the front, the leading edge, again, we stop right here on this edge right at my fingernail, and that's the leading edge. Anyway, we just want people to say, well, it doesn't cover it, but yes, it doesn't cover it. If you're looking here, you can see this thin line that goes over the top. So it is a top kit. This edge is, like we said over and over, it's way too hard for a novice to install this. Even the best clear bra installers here would have a problem with this. You have to shrink it a lot. So thank you again, and you never have to worry about damaging this beautiful armrest. Thanks again for watching, and we hope you enjoy it and love it.